What if I told you you can travel across the world for free? Yes, I said it. Imagine taking an Uber to the airport for free, getting through security quickly using PreCheck TSA that you got for free, eating and drinking at the airport lounge for free, even traveling business class to a destination across the globe. What? Yes, for free. And even get accommodations at your destination and find fun activities to do for free. You still interested? Let's talk about it. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Tanya, and make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on upcoming travel hacks. Travel does not have to be expensive, and if you want to do it often, most of us need to save money where we can. I will have a video on budget traveling tips soon, but in this one, I want to talk about how you can do it for free. All right, let's get into it. The first thing we need to talk about though is credit cards and miles. This is the best way to get a majority of your travel for free. This requires that you have good credit and are financially responsible so you don't fall into debt. You need to have knowledge of which cards work with your lifestyle. There are so many different travel award credit cards out there, and if you're new to travel hacking with credit cards, then you need to know which ones give you the most benefits for your day-to-day spending. Okay, so some of you might be saying credit cards have annual fees, so that's not free.
Honey, listen to me.
Okay, yes. So most good credit cards have annual fees, but don't let that automatically deter you, because let's break this down. Let's use Chase Sapphire Reserve as an example. This is one of my go-to credit cards that I always have in my wallet. There is a $550 annual fee.
What?
Whoa, I know, seems steep, right? But you also get $300 worth of travel credit annually. That can be spent on gas and flights and
hotels and taxis, toll roads, parking, agencies, and so on.
that knocks it down to $250. Did I get that math right? Then if you take advantage of other perks like getting TSA PreCheck or global entry, that's a value of $100 that the credit card will reimburse you. They also give you a Priority Pass membership, which is like a $400 value. This gives you access to tons of airport lounges. You also get discounts on DoorDash and Lyft rides. Plus, you get a welcome reward bonus of 50,000 points, which is worth like $750 worth of travel credit if you use it towards their travel portal. I mean, when you break it down, if you're using these benefits, then you're actually saving more money than the annual fee, or at least evening out. That's why it's so important to make sure that you find the right credit card that optimizes earning points in spending categories that you use day to day, and that the credit card has benefits that suits your lifestyle. All right, let's start talking about getting free flights. So how do you land those international lie flat seats, the ones where they serve you unlimited cocktails, gourmet meals, and you get extra amenities? Well, one way is to become a flight attendant or pilot's BFF and score a buddy pass. The other way is, I'm sure you guessed it, using credit card reward points. There are 3 ways to purchase business class tickets. You can 1, pay thousands of dollars to the airline. You can 2, use hundreds of thousands of points to purchase them through your credit card travel portal. Or 3, you can transfer the points to a travel partner airline, which often will save you a lot more points because it costs less. Most of the time, you're gonna choose option 3. When you fly business class across the globe, being stuck on a plane for 23 hours is doable. Obviously, if you wanna fly free more frequently and save points, you can use points towards economy seats instead, and you're still flying free. Now, let's talk about getting through the airport. I mentioned this earlier, credit cards have other perks as well. Cards like Chase Sapphire Reserve, American Express Platinum, Capital One Venture, they give you $100 credit towards global entry or TSA PreCheck. Now, hopefully you already know what these are, but if you don't, I'll explain it briefly. Firstly, TSA PreCheck costs about $85. Global entry costs $100. So these credit cards will reimburse you. TSA PreCheck has a designated line that often is shorter and faster than the general security line, and it allows you to get through security quickly, and you can keep your shoes on, your belt, a light jacket. My favorite thing is you don't have to take your laptop out of your bag. Global entry includes TSA PreCheck, so you don't need to purchase both of them. The difference is global entry also has a designated line for when you return from an international trip, so you can get through the customs lines quickly. From the time I land back home, I'm literally walking out of LAX within like 20 minutes, while everyone else is rushing to get through this long ass customs line. I also don't check in bags, so I don't have to wait very long, so I get through the airport pretty quickly. Personally, I hate airports. This is the worst part of traveling for me, so having global entry is essential to me. I'll leave links in the description to some of these credit cards that cover the cost. Now, let's talk about getting to the airport. If you are driving, you can use Chase Sapphire Reserve's $300 of travel credit towards parking fees. If you're gonna Uber it, American Express Platinum gives you $15 credit each month, $20 in December. Amex Gold gives you $10 a month. So depending on how far you live from the airport, this can cover that cost or give you a discount, I guess. What about eating at the airport? Credit cards like Chase Sapphire Reserve and Amex Platinum give you free Priority Pass membership, which this gives you access to over 1,300 lounges around the world. This is a $300 to $400 value depending on how often you travel. These lounges are great to hang out in when you're waiting for your flight. Many of them serve food and alcohol, have their own bathrooms, showers. Sometimes they have massage chairs. They definitely have faster Wi-Fi so that you can stay connected or work or whatever. This is probably one of my most used perks when traveling. I love airport lounges and allows you to bring a guest. If you have Amex Platinum, you actually get a few more lounges that are not on Priority Pass. If you have certain other credit cards, they give you access to their airline lounge also. Just depends on your card. So far we talked about getting from your house to the airport, getting through the airport, dining, and flying for free. All of this through credit cards. If you want to know what credit cards I use and what I keep in my wallet, or if you have any other questions or need more details, just leave me a note in the comments. What about when you're at your destination? Well, there are a couple of ways to get free accommodations. One is, you've probably guessed it, using travel reward cards or hotel branded credit cards. That's obvious. They can offer free night certificates also, but there is another way. You can either house sit or do something like couch surfing as well. So there are websites like Trusted House Sitters and Mind My House where you can pet sit or house sit. Hopefully you like pets, but you also have to sign up for these websites and they have a sign up fee, so it's not technically free. There's also websites like Couchsurfing that is free. Sometimes the host will have an extra room or a couch for you to crash on. This gives you a chance to meet a local and get some guidance on where to go in town, and they may even keep you company if you guys get along. So disclaimer, I personally have had hesitations with this as a solo female traveler. I've had one good experience and one bad experience with this. So my first time was years ago. The host, even though he showed me around town and gave me some insight and took me to a great restaurant, he made me really uncomfortable when he came on to me. Nothing bad happened, but just it was uncomfortable. So I didn't try it again until about last year. Gave it a second chance, but mostly because I was meeting up with a friend and he was already couch surfing. The host was gracious enough to allow me to couch surf there too. But that experience was pretty amazing though. We spent a week and explored Cusco. The host fed us. He showed us some local spots that most tourists probably wouldn't even see. He gave us tips on where to go, taught us a lot about the culture. We even had dance classes in the kitchen. So we're friends even till now, and if I head back to Cusco in Peru, I would definitely meet up with Luis again. We're friends. Luis, if you're watching this, hello. Okay, lastly, if you're on a budget, make sure you take advantage of all the free activities you can do at your destination. There are often free walking tours to get to know the city better. That way you're not just kind of walking around looking at all these buildings. You get to actually know the history behind it. It gives you a chance to meet new people too. You should tip your guide, of course, so it's not technically free, but so you can Google these and find free walking tours in whatever city you're in. So other activities you can do, these might be obvious, but you can go to a national park, beaches, some museums, check out historical buildings, religious buildings. But one thing I would consider doing is looking into events that are celebrated throughout the city. Things like Oktoberfest in Germany, Songkran in Thailand, or Carnival in Brazil. Those are obviously more well known around the world, but cities often actually have their own celebrations. They seem random to me, but they're obviously not random. It's just kind of a local thing. So for instance, when I went to see the Leaning Tower of Pisa, a lot of people said, oh, well, there's not much to do at Pisa. There's just a tower there. But we happened to go on the day they were celebrating Luminara. So we had no idea what this was. They lit up thousands of candles and outlined windows and buildings facing the river in Pisa, and then they had this beautiful display of fireworks across the entire river. After the fireworks were over, it was like 2 hours long. We partied in the streets. They had music and food and dancing. It was just crazy. And the same thing happened when we were in Madrid. They were celebrating some saint, I'm not sure what, but they had food and music in the streets, and it was just a massive party, and it was just a free event. These things are really fun. And even though these 2 times I had happened across these, like it was kind of like a coincidence, they're worth looking into. You could just kind of Google like events in the area of your destination, and then you can celebrate with the locals. So that's pretty cool. Alrighty, I hope you found this helpful. If you want more travel hacks like this, hit the thumbs up button so I know. Feel free to let me know in the comments if there's anything that you want to learn about in particular for the future videos. I truly want everyone to experience the beauty of travel. I've been doing it for years, and I'm happy to share everything I've learned. Thanks so much for watching and supporting. Hope to see you in the next one.